welcome to my pick a card channel, the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. So get cozy, pull up a chair, and we're going to have a little chat today because we're all friends when we gather around my table. For today's pick a card topic, we're looking at a connection on your mind, and this can be any connection on your mind. You can be in a relationship with this person. They could be a past partner. Maybe you're in no contact. Whatever the case may be, today we are exploring the question from Spirit. What were their feelings for you then versus now? So maybe at the beginning of your connection, maybe in the past of this connection versus what are their current feelings today. So we're going to do a comparison reading today for you. We do have 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 here with the clear quartz heart and the 9 of Pentacles. Pile number 2 with the Queen of Wands and the red heart. Pile number 3 with the High Priestess and the green heart. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting from Spirit today. And I'm going to start with pile number 1. I also want to take a moment to say thank you to all of my beautiful returning subscribers who keep coming back and leaving me beautiful comments. I really appreciate all of your beautiful words of support in the comments section. And as a thank you, I do offer a chance to win a free tarot reading. So be sure to drop your comment below and be sure to hit your notification bell if you do drop your comment or are interested in the free tarot reading so that I can notify you and get the ball rolling. I am waiting to hear back from a most recent winner, so be sure to check your notifications as well. And if you are new to the channel, we would love to have you join our beautiful soul family by subscribing, hitting your notification bell, and dropping me a comment too. I would love to read for you. I also offer I offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below as well if you are interested in a personal reading. And I do update that shop daily. So if you go to the shop and it's empty, it just means I've sold out for the day, but I do update it daily, so be sure to check back. But we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. How does this person currently feel about you, and how does it compare to how they felt about you in the past? So their feelings for you then versus now. We're going to start with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the clear quartz. You were also drawn to the 9 of Pentacles, and this is your readings. How do they currently feel about you now versus how did they feel about you in the past? We're starting with the 9 of Pentacles, and you can see there's this beautiful sculpture on top of this huge pedestal. And so I feel like there is this opinion of you that they put you up on this pedestal. I feel like they've forged this opinion over you over the course of a long period of time. It could even almost feel like a lifetime for some people watching as well, of forming this opinion of you over this course of time. And there's just so much attraction. It's like somebody who's worked hard, somebody who looks good, somebody who works hard on how they look as well. There's just there's an emphasis on you, an emphasis on what you've gained for yourself that I feel like is really attaching itself to present moment energy. So this could be how they view you in today's feelings and in today's aspect. So let's take a look here. We are going to do a split reading for you today. So we're going to start with the past energy on the left-hand side. What were their feelings for pile number 1 in the past? So what were their feelings then for pile number 1, please? Maybe it will be first impressions that they'll be showing us, or how these feelings developed. We do have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Death energy coming out. We have the Magician. They're highlighting the Page of Swords on the back of the deck. I'm going to clarify this message. What are their feelings, please? 8 of Wands. Their feelings for you then in the past of this connection. Oh, the World is coming out upright with the Star reversed. The High Priestess. Back of the deck we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 2 of Cups, and there's the 6 of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, I'm getting this really strong sense of really strong youthful attraction that comes in from the past energy of how they were feeling, because they saw this as such a beautiful opportunity. It's like they compared you to other people, but there was absolutely no comparison. They're not even saying it's apples and oranges. In this case, all of these trees are completely bare. When it comes to comparing you to other people in the past, you had no competition. It's like this person either had a huge crush on you, or they just had this singular focus of like, you're the one. Period, full stop, you're the one. I feel like they were really hoping that that was the case. And you'll notice here on your side, pile 1, that Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, the Death, the World, the Star, the High Priestess, all of these major themes, they wrapped you up in all of these major themes. You were an influence in all of these major themes. And they felt such a big huge attraction that just kept building and building and building. And they had a lot of intentions, but I also feel like they kind of took their time, or they felt like they had more time. Here with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like they were trying to prove themselves to you first before maybe they entered into a relationship. Maybe the two of you actually went into a relationship as well, because there was a lot of exchange. Like they feel like they gained a lot, or they would have gained a lot from their attraction to you in the past. I will say here with the Star reversed, there was an aspect in the past of them sort of feeling overlooked, or maybe even ignored by you, or maybe just overseen. They didn't perhaps feel like you felt, in the very least, as equally as intense as they did. But they were really kind of hoping that they could manifest that. Like they were hoping that they could change that. I feel like they kept a lot of their feelings for you kind of hidden. And I can't deny that I do feel like a lot of their energies towards you were driven by fear, because I feel like they were afraid to speak, they were afraid to act. Just even the skull here doesn't have the bottom half of the mandible. So they may have been afraid to express themselves to you at that time because they felt like you were way out of their league, or they were working on themselves so that they would be closer to your league in some way. But they did sort of feel ignored, and they felt like a mounting pressure when it came to timing. It's like the longer they waited, the longer this pressure built and built and built for them. I want to see what this High Priestess is talking about, though. Let me clarify the High Priestess, please. How did they truly feel then versus now? And they're like showing me like, they're showing me like class photos. Here's the High Priestess again. And the truth is that I don't think that they recognized that there was an insecurity within you at the very same moment that they were feeling insecure at this time, because I do feel like there was a very strong mutual feeling between the two of you, but that they were not privy to. They didn't feel good enough. They didn't feel abundant enough for you in this moment, but you were like the spark that woke them up. And they just saw such a strong opportunity, but it wasn't just about an opportunity towards a relationship. They really felt connected to you. They kind of told themselves in that moment that you might be the one for them in that moment. Spirit also says you kind of knew how they felt that whole time. We have good fortune coming out. We have the Wheel of Fortune here. And yet here with the beetle, it looks like it's climbing in a desert. So they were extremely thirsty for you in this golden opportunity towards a relationship. They compared you, if they compared you to anyone, they couldn't compare you to anyone, because it's not even apples and oranges. It's like you are in a class by yourself. We have opportunities that are waiting for you, and I feel like there was a wait, and I feel like they kept you waiting, and they kept themselves waiting. We have plenty of material things. So it's like you had plenty going on for you physically. They're talking about your body. They're talking about how you carried yourself with so much confidence, perhaps, even if you were faking it as well. And it says a marriage will take place, either romantic or business. And they really thought, again, you may have moved into a relationship with this person, but it may not have completely took off, or they really wanted to be in a relationship with you. They really thought that there was like something special about this connection. They really, and in fact, they were even showing me here the psychic ability, trusting your intuition, because they really were hopeful that you did feel mutual and that this would move into something more. But I do feel like they kind of took their time. The opportunities were waiting for them, and they perhaps didn't take that opportunity. I honestly feel like they thought that you were marriage material, if I'm being completely truthful. At the time of meeting them or meeting you, they really thought this could go somewhere. This could go to a commitment cycle. We have the High Priestess again coming out for you. What are their current feelings in this moment, please, towards pile number 1? The Fool. The Chariot, paired with the 7 of Swords. Back of deck is the World. I do feel like they've come full circle in a lesson here. 2 of Swords. Coming with the Justice. Yeah, the Justice and the Ten of Wands. So they are sort of suffering from the weight of the unknown now. And it's not even just the weight of what's happening today, but the weight of what could have happened. There's a really strong sense of shoulda, coulda, woulda, and this person really looks a lot into the background, really looks into the past quite a bit, is very nostalgic. And they're carrying the weight of all of that with them today. I also feel like they don't speak about this. Like, this feels like a very interior feeling or experience that they're having in this moment. And it's filled with reality. Like, it's filled with reality checks. It's filled with harsh doses of reality for them in this moment. Because now I feel like the fear of what I missed out on is the constant companion now. There's still a risk associated with reaching out to you today or taking a leap of faith to you today. And they do feel like they should have arrived at this point in their life. Like, they feel like they should have gotten over the connection, or they should have upgraded from how they were feeling in the past. And yet there's still all of this constant companion of this fear that comes in that says, well, did I miss out on something that was meant for me? Was that the benchmark of my failure where I should have changed directions in that moment? Here's the Four of Pentacles. I do feel like the two of you I feel like you were living in the same town at this time, and then you're not living in the same place at this point in your journey. And yet, even though they don't have a right to, they're still very clingy towards your energy, or they're still it's almost like they hoard your energy. They're not ready to release this idea of you, even though it perhaps has been years. They get jealous still, and they realize that even that's not appropriate, but they feel like they feel jealous over you. I feel like they don't take a leap of faith now because you or they could have moved into another situation, or they're just not sure of what you're invested in this moment. So they have a concern to take a leap at this moment to figure everything out, because it does feel like you're in separation at this time. And there's the Four, and that's the reality that really stings. It's like your heart, the potential is the reality that stings for this person now. And they don't feel satisfied with what happened in the past, and they're not feeling satisfied with what's happening in the present. And they don't feel empowered in any way by what happened between the two of you. It's like they want to feel that empowerment, but they're still conflicted because they're still emotionally, even though they should have arrived in their life, they should have moved on by this point, they're still emotionally pulled back into that past, and it sort of rises with the seasons, I feel. Special occasions, holidays, thoughts of you really kind of ramp up. And it could be because we're traveling to our hometown and we're worried about seeing each other, but there's just a feeling of I should have arrived at this point, I should have moved forward, and yet I'm still anchored here. And it's like you represent the crutches that they had in the past. You represent the fear that they had in the past in this moment. So they just are filled with this dose of reality that they don't feel like they can share or express in any type of way. How do they currently feel, please, about pile number 1? We have tent, temporary situation. And I just saw the younger man card. It's like this looks like a yurt to me, which is sort of a step up for me from a tent, because a tent is just temporary, but a yurt you can put a stove in. And so even though it was meant to be a temporary situation, it has turned into a long-standing situation. And they're more so speaking about the situation within the heart space or within our intuition. It's like it was supposed to be, the hidden energies between us was supposed to be temporary. I was supposed to express them by now. It says you are on the road to success. And they are climbing a new mountain, or they are investing in life. They are working on their career. They're working on their home realm. And you're a part of that temperance. You're a part of what they're bringing back into balance. So you still influence them very heavily. We have July. And now they're playing that song by Leon Bridges. I've been losing my breath. I've been counting to 10 over something you said. So it's like holding my breath. We have fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And it says here, success assured with good plans and hard work, the egg. And money will be coming to you. The coins, I do think about position. I do think about the concern for the home, perhaps with the money card that comes out. They still feel like they're still holding this belief system that this connection had everything it needed to survive. It just needed some type of attention or some type of incubation in order for us to succeed in this moment. And so they're still holding on to that. But that's what's keeping them in this cycle of returning to the past and keeping them anchored in this situation, to the reality that does sting when it comes to you. So their current feelings, their true feelings in the present moment, it still stings. It still hurts. My life started when I met you. It's like you initiated me into love, or you initiated me into these deep emotional feelings. I still worry about us a lot. And worry may have been a constant companion in the past as well. Weight, which may have been a very strong theme in the future of this situation. Please let me hold you, 7 of Swords. And I would do anything for you. ... I always think of that Meatloaf song where he said, "But I won't do that." It's like, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. And they feel like they missed out on a jackpot. They just showed me like the 777. Like they feel like they missed out on a jackpot here. It says, I am absolutely in love with you. 6 of Cups, soulmate energy, wishing and longing for reunions at this time. Back of the deck, we have splitting apart here. You make me want to do bad things, and I lie awake thinking about our future still in this present moment. We have fork in the road and go the distance. Now we also have mending showing itself as well. Whoops. We have clean it up and being flexible. We also have why on the back of the deck showing itself. Now these other cards just kind of flew out because they wanted to be seen by you, pile 1. But this is sort of representing the lesson that this person has learned, or is continuing to learn through this continual attraction to you, is that they learned to be, first of all, they're still holding on to potential, and I feel like they are still flexible with what they fantasize about as a possibility in the future with the 2 of you, but they do have some clearance for growth that has to happen before anything could happen in your connection. So that it doesn't feel like they're in a rush. It feels like they're almost surrendering to the reality check in the present moment. You represent this lesson of having to take action when an opportunity presents itself. And this is a lesson that they may still be applying in their current realm at this time, or may apply to you in the future. But this is what Spirit is using out of what has happened between the 2 of you, is trying to apply this lesson to you and perhaps to your person about seeing an opportunity, seeing a fork in the road, and taking advantage of the opportunity before it slips away. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 1, please. What was the last thought that they had about pile number 1 in the bowl? 3 of Swords, disappointment, heartbreak, missing you, dissatisfaction with what happened, dissatisfaction with themselves, because they just felt like this lack of confidence was what ruled them in the present moment, and now they feel like they can't protect the connection while still protecting themselves. We have the little cherries. I also think of like virginity, and I think of new sexual experiences or opportunities in youth. We have P and Q. We also have here sacrifice with the honeybee with sweet results. We have hesitation in youth with the fawn in the bowl. We even have a Sam McBratney children's book quote here with I love you to the moon and back. And there's a feeling about wanting to reveal that. Like that's what they really want to reveal. They want to reveal to you that 6 of Cups energy and the unfinished cycles of what we didn't say. We do have the strength ruin and trying to powerfully overcome forces that we feel like are against us. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. If it resonates with you, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. And I just hope that you have a beautiful day and you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the red stone. You're also drawn to the Queen of Wands, and this is your reading. How does the person on your mind currently feel about you versus their feelings for you in the past? You could be an Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands does represent that as well. She also represents sort of this force. There's an emphasis on your hair. There's an emphasis on beauty. There's an emphasis on confidence. So even if you didn't feel confident at the time, you projected it, or they just felt like you had every reason to be confident as well. I'm also getting this aspect of being followed around. So I don't know if that will resonate with you, but let's take a look at the past of this connection first. How did they feel in the past of this connection? What were their feelings for pile number 2 then, please? The 10 of Swords. The Page of Swords, coming out with the 3 of Swords. And we have the Lovers coming out sideways. We're just going to put it in the upright for now for space-saving reasons. We have the Star of Aquarius, and we have the Hermit. Oh my goodness. So it feels as though when they first met you or in the past of this connection, they were watching you intently, but it feels like somebody wasn't available right out of the gate. There's already a disappointment. There's already this sense of potential, but we couldn't realize the potential. A helplessness that comes in. We have a lot of Gemini energy coming through. I can't deny that perhaps in the past, or in the then energy of how they felt about you in the past, that there could have been a third party here. Maybe you were in a relationship or they were in a relationship, but it's like they could look, but they couldn't touch. We have the Chariot and the 7 of Wands, and there was an issue of needing to clear out the clutter. They felt like they were tied down by something, or again, they perhaps were feeling like they were tied down by your investments in other relationships. It wasn't an insurmountable situation, but they did let helplessness take over and made them feel helpless. There's also this sense of like guilt that comes in with some of the feelings that they had. So they may have been in a relationship when they first saw you or first met you in the past. But it's like you woke them up in some way, like you awoke something in them in that moment. And they were trying to weigh greed, the desire that they had for you, and logic and their position. We have the 9 of Swords with the Moon, Scorpio energy coming through as well. There's this sense of thinking about you constantly, almost obsessively, if I'm honest, in the past. And this obsessive thought had a function, had a purpose, because it was supposed to propel them through a change, or to make a change in their environment, or to, in the very least, start to make adjustments to what they felt like was holding them back in the present moment. There's the 8 of Cups, but they felt like they had to walk away from a position or a relationship in order to do that. This could have been established in the work realm. It doesn't have to be established in the work realm, but there is a sense of them in a practical field, or that could resonate with you. So take those messages as they resonate. But it feels as though in the past they already felt completely conflicted. They already felt helpless unless they took on a major change or made a huge decision about their relationships status, about you. And I feel like they turned their back on the opportunity, or they didn't take action upon it in some way. So they're just left with that reality that sort of really stung of I can look, but I just can't touch. Number 1, please. What do they think and feel in the past of this connection? We have the Diamond. You'll be receiving a precious gift. Forged under pressure. I do think of commitment cycles with the Diamond. Scissors. Disappointment in some affair. And taking care because enemies are working against you in the past of this connection. Wanting a change for the better, because they did feel like this connection with you would bring them into a more abundant situation. But they couldn't commit, or nobody could commit in the past, and so they couldn't make a decision, or they had a challenge. And it just made them, wonder if they're seeking out second best. It's like they feel like they're settling or something. It's like they feel like it's like you made them realize there are higher standards out there in some way because they were watching you. We have here, you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. And they felt like you represented guaranteed success. The Cupid's bow or Cupid's arrow came out of nowhere. They weren't expecting it perhaps, but after they got struck, there was nothing convincing them that you weren't an upgrade to whatever they were invested in, that you were some type of upgrade, because they did feel like they were yoked in a situation where they were being held back from what they truly wanted here. Now let's take a look here at present day, their current feelings and thoughts, please. For pile number 2, Knight of Wands. Justice. Nine of Wands. Queen of Pentacles already on the back of the deck with the Emperor. A lot of Aries energy coming through. Libra. Ace of Wands. Five of Swords supporting the Justice. Three of Cups. And we have the Three of Wands here with the Devil. Pile number 2, we can't deny the fire here that exists for this person in present day energy towards you. It doesn't even feel like it's in separation, to be honest with you. I do get a sense of the workaround for someone, or, you know, just a position that we're holding in life that shouldn't involve love, but does involve lust in this moment, because they're very conflicted here with the Five of Swords and their position that they hold. First of all, the attraction that they feel towards you empowers them in some way, but also taking action upon it they feel like would disempower them in some way. So they're very conflicted about how do I do this? How do I make change without hurting myself or without myself taking a hit? Because you still inspire them, they still gaze at you, they're still very much in a state of want, if I'm honest. Three of Wands is expansion. The Devil, it's like you make them want to do naughty things. You make them want to take a step outside of their connections or their commitment cycles in this moment. And you have proven yourself to be separate or set yourself apart from other people. There's something different about you. There's almost something exciting about you, because you could even be from like a different culture or something where they just find that exciting. They want to explore that with you. They may even call you a friend, or you guys might call each other friends or be friendly in life, but it's not friendship. They want so much more than that. They have been holding back, and they may continue to hold back, but they've been holding back for a long time, and they're still holding on at the same time. So they are frustrated and they're kind of getting exhausted. It's like they're depleting a lot of their energy, because a lot of their energy is monopolized and focused on you, on this Queen of Wands, which is both invigorates me but also intimidates me at the same time, because it's kind of a secret. Here's the Seven of Swords, and they feel like a pirate where they're trying to make off with something that they know doesn't quite belong to them. It's like, I know that my desires here are not something that I can share openly. We have here a period of prosperity and abundance. The best thing since sliced bread. And I just heard sugar and spice and everything nice. We have here Elephant, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser in the end. And there's endurance here, there's stamina here. They have been holding on to this attraction for you for a while. We have here peace and harmony, but they are avoiding change because they're trying to maintain peace, mostly for themselves, I will say, and for their environment. So they could be keeping you waiting to reveal their truth. And this may continue into the future as well. But again, there's the tempted flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. But I feel like the standard has been set. You are the standard. And they are tempted. They're tempted to climb a new mountain. This is like a flag on top of a mountain. And they're tempted to climb a new mountain. But we have unsuccessful outcome to a problem, the broken bridge. And they have to pay attention to their finances, or they're going to lose something physical or practical as a result of their attraction for you in this moment. So position is a huge issue. Again, work realm could be an issue here as well. We have here chain of events that could affect your life. So still feeling attached to their environment and attached to the attraction to you, that they feel like if they were to take advantage of it, might be a dangerous prospect for them, might create a dangerous outcome for them. Even though they want to go out, they want to have fun, they want to take you out. It says here, I'm going after what I want, the Four of Wands, twin flame launch. But the truth is that they're inspired to, and they may take that action, but Spirit says that they have almost like a muscle memory hold now on that reserve. Because you could destroy me. I have been hurt so many times before, the Four of Pentacles. Feeling a concern for their home, feeling vulnerable, and going after what they want. And that could be why they're kind of stuck at this standstill, trying to find the determination. I'm not ready to share. King of Pentacles, I want my cake and eat it too. They're also kind of possessive over you. They don't like the idea of you with other people. I didn't see what was right in front of me. And this is like a feeling of being ignored or feeling overlooked, feeling helpless. It's in relation to this "you could destroy me" card, the Seven of Wands, where it's like there's a determination to find solutions, or if they want to see progress, they're going to have to find determination to find the solutions. And I am afraid of where this path leads me. They do feel like charging towards you would be kind of a focused, self-centered energy. I'm focused on me right now. They feel like an impulsive pull to telling you how they feel, or in the very least reacting to you in some really profound, real way. How do they truly feel this moment, please, in comparison to the past? We have here orphaned. They're worried about losing something practical. They're worried about, I feel like they could be worried about losing their home, losing money. There could be children associated here with their situation as well. We have loyal heart. And I get that message about, you know, I'm not taking action because, and then filling in those blank. And it could be because of children, because I'm trying to focus on loyalty, because I'm trying to focus on what I've built for myself. And I'm going by the book. Somebody who is sort of driven by their responsibility as well. And that's a reality that does impede their progress or make this situation, because they go by the book, because they don't want to paint outside of the lines, so to speak, and they may be required to do that in your connection. Luck may not be on their side when it comes to this situation. But we have peace here with the egg, and there's a feeling with the peace card that comes out that speaks about the potential that they're holding on to. It's like that gives them a sense of security all in of itself, just feeling like the potential's still there. It gives them something to escape to. Let's get the charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. What was the last thought that pile number 2's person had about them in the bowl, please? Oh, missed the bowl. Lover's energy, 2 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands reversed. It's like they know they have to say no to an environment, but they can't commit to that yet. They can't commit to letting go of responsibilities and things that they're juggling. They can't commit to making a decision about how they feel about this connection. And I feel like their last thought was grappling with this choice, grappling with the attraction. I feel like it might have started in a sort of a physical thought about you, but then the practical concerns coming in, following up those thoughts. We have the letter K, an H, an L. We also have Taurus energy, bananas. I always think of financial abundance, the fear of losing that. Commandment from the Bible, thou shalt not steal. We do have the rolling pin, ironing things out. I also think about like domestic energies. And the cupcake is a symbol of wanting my cake and eating it too. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and I do update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the green stone. You were also drawn to the High Priestess, and this is your reading. How does the person on your mind feel for you then versus now? So their feelings, how do they compare today as they did in the past of this connection? Now the High Priestess is giving me this feeling of, I always had this feeling about you. I always had this, I felt this intense connection. I always had this feeling about you. I always had a feeling that I would maybe even live to regret something. There's just a sense of always having this feeling about you and sitting upon it. Maybe not acting upon it, but sitting upon that information. So we're going to start with their feelings for you in the past on the left-hand side. And then we're going to compare them to current feelings today. So how did they feel, please, about pile number 3 in the past of this connection? We have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the 6 of Wands. Back of the deck, we have the Temperance as well. So let's clarify this message, please. The 7 of Pentacles. Temperance coming out again. We have the 6 of Swords coming out with the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 8 of Wands. Back of deck is the beautiful Empress, and there's the 6 of Cups. Oh my goodness. There's such a beautiful nostalgia surrounding this connection from the past. It feels like such a beautiful friendship, actually. But I feel like the two of you know that it wasn't just friendship. It feels like a beautiful sort of coming of age story. It's sort of bittersweet too, because the two of you chased each other around. You guys were both wearing masks. There was a lot of back and forth here, and you both knew that there was something special here. This was a crossroads energy, but there was like a paralyzation of fear coming from this person, and they let the fruit spoil. And I feel like it was because they didn't feel good enough about themselves, or they didn't feel confident enough about themselves. And maybe you didn't feel confident enough about yourself either, but they didn't see you in that light because they're projecting you as the Empress. They're projecting you as like, they're talking about you criticizing yourself, or maybe you did criticize yourself, and they're saying that you didn't need that criticism, that it wasn't valid. They themselves felt like they should criticize themselves because they are like, that's valid, but not for you, because they looked at you like this beautiful, abundant energy. And it was very tempting, but there was a friendship here. And you can see that there's this tea set here, and we're having this cup of tea. And every time I see a cup of tea, I think of rest. I think of taking our time. There's vines crawling along the cup, which means that we took a long time seeking out information in this friendship. And there was enough energy between the two of you that there should have been an acknowledgement of the relationship and the physical relationship that should have evolved, or some type of romantic relationship that should have evolved. But we spent so much time chasing each other around or wearing these masks. It's like the pressure, it's like they felt like they were under a lot of pressure to be the force. So they could have been the divine masculine energy while you're the divine feminine, because they felt like it was almost their responsibility to be the ones to step up and say, hey, this is how I feel. But they were under such crippling pressure from themselves, and they felt so bad about themselves. I almost feel like they went through a depression that inhibited their ability to make a choice and to act in a timely way, because they waited so long. They waited too long. And part of their opportunity here, and part of their temperance, was to acknowledge an opportunity and to take action upon it. But even here with the 6 of Swords, it's like they felt like there's so much they didn't say. They're not even necessarily including you in that dynamic because they don't know how you feel, but they know what they felt, and they know that they didn't say what they felt, and they still have so much more they want to say. or they had so much more that they were planning on saying. They were just waiting for confidence, or they were just waiting for you, or they're just waiting for something to give them that kick or that boost in the right direction. And now they're just focusing me on how the snakes are eating themselves. It's like there's a sense of we're not going to get anywhere. There's no winner in the situation when we are both imbalanced and we're both taking our time and we're both at a crossroads. But there was something very special about this connection for you, I feel like, as well, and for this person. Like, you made an impression on them, and I feel like they left you with a very strong impression as well. Success for them in this connection would have been a relationship with you. And it's a completely unknown world, even, because they're showing me these people that are dancing around the fire, and now they're showing me like scenes of when we fly over those islands and those places in the world that still haven't been civilized, that we still haven't made contact, and you see the people down there with the spears, and that's what they're showing me. It's like we didn't make the contact. We didn't make full contact because we were afraid. And I just feel like they know that they should have been more generous with you. And I almost feel like they worry now about what they established, like what they sacrificed. We have here nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. And successful outcome to your problem. They saw so much potential for like success and more. And even the Six of Wands can speak to me about like commitment cycles and getting married and things like that. Like they could fantasize and put you in that role. And they knew that they were the key, but they had to go out on the limb to do it. And they didn't. And so there's a sense of waiting, but back vine, seeking out information that they would be helpful to them, waiting for a sign from you that you felt the same way. We have here work achievement equals success. There could have been a work connection here or a school connection here when you did meet each other. And there's an emphasis on the divine feminine carrying the load or doing the heavy work, because maybe the divine masculine didn't. And there's an acknowledgement that work plus achievement will equal success. A lesson that came in, but unsuccessful plans. Unsuccessful plans, which resulted in a lack of peace and harmony, I feel here with the wind chimes, because what they wanted was clarity and closure, but that didn't come to fruition for them because they let their stomach get in a knot. We do have new opportunities and possibilities and pathways opening up in an archway in the past. So they acknowledge that they did, especially in the past, they did miss the boat. Now let's take a look here for pile number 3 and the present energy. What are they currently feeling today for pile number 3? We have the Seven of Wands. We started the other spread with the Seven of Pentacles, and now we have the Seven of Wands. What are their current feelings, please? Ten of Swords. Four of Cups. Strength and Five of Swords showing itself as well. Six of Cups. With the Hierophant, Nine of Swords coming out too. They're very nostalgic. They think about the past quite a bit, and you're still being touted as the Six of Cups. And they criticize themselves now. It's like now there's like a criticism that comes in with this Nine of Swords and ruminating, overthinking about it, struggling with their decisions when it comes to the crossroads and sort of moving this into something more away from friendship into something more developing. There could have been like a college or a university associated with this, or it could have been a high school. Could be the work round, but I'm getting more sense of like more of a youthful energy coming through. The Page of Swords. The Hanged Man. And the Strength. And there's the Star. You know, it feels like reality has hit me like a ton of bricks. And they are acknowledging that it's almost like they knew that this would play out like this. It's like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, I knew this would happen. I knew this would play out like this, because it's like they're learning a lesson, and it's a hard one. It's a really hard lesson, and they don't feel like there's any wiggle room. They don't know that there's the possibility of more anymore. And so that makes them feel very helpless. It's like, I just have to sit now in the bed that I've made for myself in this situation. And they are still struggling to completely release. They're struggling quite a bit in the present moment, Pal 3. We can't deny this. You feel very far away from them. It feels like you could be moving, or you could have moved into different cities. You could be very, geographically far away from them, but just even emotionally speaking, they just felt like this was such a waste. Not that it was a waste, wanting you, because now I'm hearing that Hosier song, that Francesca song, where it's like, tell them to put me back in, I would do it again. Like, tell them to put me back in, I would do it all again, just to have the intensity of how they felt. Because it was like an awakening. And although it's bittersweet, there's still the sweet aspect of it. So it's not that they wouldn't do it over again. It's that they feel like they wasted a chance. And that makes them feel really upset and really vulnerable. It tests their strength even today. They don't feel like there's a lot of possibility for more in the present moment. And I will say that even though they're thinking about you often, they have surrendered to this passive approach. I will say that thoughts of you, memories of you, do pop up suddenly when they're not expecting it. And I feel like that's just kind of become a part of their life, if I'm honest. Like, it's just sort of become a part of what they have to expect. This is a journey, either physical or mental, both for them in a lot of ways. They're still emotionally on this journey with you. We have grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling, because they still hold a candle. They still hold a candle here. And the fact is that they haven't allowed it to go out, because they do feel like there is a spiritual aspect to your connection, or a spiritual love that does exist. But now we have the pig. It says, beware of greed. And that could be why they do not reach out at this point, or why they do not feel like there's any hope in the moment, because they could have moved on into other things, or they feel like will be greedy to approach you at this moment and try to create upheaval in your environment. But they are still hoarding. It's like they are still holding on to the thoughts of you, to the past. Advice from a friend. And getting back to basics. Back of the deck says, you will be taken care of in difficult times with the staff. And there's an emphasis here on change and grounding myself with every step. And there's the caterpillar. Grounding myself with every step. They are hopeful that eventually they're going to be able to feel better. And they've talked about this with other people. I feel like they've talked about it with their closest friends, or with family that are very, very close to them. I think they have discussed this situation. And they know that they have a to-do list. It's like they know that they have to have a to-do list. They do wish that they could go back to the past, but they do recognize that that's most likely not going to happen in the present moment. I feel like they could be watching you as well. If you're not in contact with this person, there's a connectivity energy coming through with this star, where they could be watching you online with the Page of Swords. How do they currently feel for pile number 3? You really are the best thing that ever happened to me. The thought of explaining myself and apologizing scares me, and I don't want to see any pain that I could have caused in your eyes. I've thought about having a family with you is coming out as well. They've fantasized about that. Especially in the past, they're like, this person could be the one that I end up with. This could be the one. You're so different, but that's why I love you. I keep hearing that Hosier song too. Just put me back in. I want to do it again. You influence me in ways that no one ever has. So you might want to listen to that song, the Francesca song by Hosier, because it just keeps playing in my head. It's kind of a torturous song, though. It's like, even though it hurt me so much, but God, I would do it again. I want to reconcile with you. There is an emphasis on reconciliation with the 6 of Cups. It's a reunion energy. And I have been feeling your presence around me, mostly because they have been infusing themselves with it, with this constant rumination of the connection. I want to dedicate a song to you, and I know you're my twin flame. And again, they keep playing Hosier's Francesca in my head, so be sure to check out the lyrics for that song as well. There could be some messages waiting for you there. We have chaos and conflict coming out. This is Tower energy. I feel like the influence that you have on this person has been a little bit chaotic, but not because you have infiltrated them with that chaos. It's that they sort of create this rumination that throws them off balance when it comes to you. They could also be worried about creating chaos for you, and that's why they feel like it's a helpless venture in this moment. We have exchanging gifts. And this energy is coming forward because they do have a desire for closure or clarity. And they feel like the only way they can achieve that is if they do speak to you or communicate with you in some way. Now, the truth is they can gain closure without it. It could just be a resurgence that they're actually looking for in this moment, but they just wish that they could close out this cycle. Because we have time to go coming in the reversal, but they don't feel like they can remove themselves from the situation. Even though the Ten of Swords is right here, it's like this devastating release. They just don't feel like they're capable of doing it yet without some type of conversation with you. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What was the last thought they had about pile number 3 in the bowl, please? Strength reversed. Leo energy coming forward here. Magician. There's the Queen of Wands. Now, the Magician here is sort of sideways. We have the Queen of Wands upright. They're talking about a lack of confidence coming in this moment, and they don't know if they have enough strength. So they were really thinking about how they kept you waiting. They've been keeping you waiting. They're very intimidated to communicate with you, but they really wish that they could in this moment, but they don't know if they're strong enough. Or have the confidence. In the bowl today, we have the letters T and L. We do have 2. I always think of the Divine Feminine here with these little owls. So 2 perhaps Divine Feminine energies, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. It doesn't have to just be Divine Feminine. It's all about energy. We have the Rib Cage here and the Divine Masculine who did not express themselves or was too afraid to express themselves. And they're showing like the heart beating behind the cage. We have a little boy and the baby shark taking a bite out of change. We have temptation with the Empress and the heart chakra being emphasized by the stethoscope. So listening to the notes of intuition, listening to the heart. There could be a hospital or workplace connection to the stethoscope. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and I do update that shop daily. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.